Today I'm going to be checking out this guitar. This is an MRG Tenor guitar from Eastwood, and I'm going to be telling you all about this guitar in just a moment. I also want to speak a bit more generally about tenor guitars for those of you who aren't familiar with the instrument. So what is a tenor guitar and how might you go about using it? But let me begin by playing something. So what is a tenor guitar? And this is quite a new instrument to me. I think I've played a tenor guitar on a couple of occasions previously, but I've never owned one before. And just reading up on the history of tenor guitars has been quite interesting. And there's a strong connection with the banjo. I think in the early years of the 20th century, tenor guitars were produced as a way of allowing banjo players to easily translate their skills onto the guitar without having to learn a new tuning. And I read that some of the earliest tenor guitars, they basically just stuck a banjo neck on an acoustic guitar, and that was your tenor guitar. And there was a period when tenor guitars were pretty popular. I think Gibson and Martin were producing tenor guitars. They were popular with country banjo players and also with jazz players as well. And I think over recent years there's been a bit of a resurgence in interest, and some of this I think is down to Eastwood themselves. They put out the Warren Ellis tenor guitar model, and Warren Ellis has used the tenor guitar on at least a couple of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds records, and he's been responsible for renewed interest. Also on Eastwood's website I read that Lee Ronaldo is using tenor guitars as well. So I think those people and Eastwood have brought the tenor sound to a new generation of players and to perhaps a different kind of player. Now, not being a tenor guitar player or particularly familiar with this instrument, my approach to it is the same as I would approach a new open tuning on a regular guitar. So I will mess around, experiment, and be surprised by the kind of sounds that come out. And that's exactly the approach I took in my little piece that I played at the start of this video. It was just messing around and seeing what kind of sounds came out. I wasn't able to rely on familiar grips or chord shapes. Let me talk through the main features of this guitar, and it's quite a classy looking thing. It's quite a traditional look. I think it owes a bit to mandolin kind of styling, and we've got this nice kind of scroll bit on the top part of the body and this quite cool cutout in the headstock as well. Now, as far as the wood used in this guitar, we've got a maple top, and I think it's a mahogany body, and it's semi-acoustic. It's semi-hollow body, so nice and resonant. We've got a maple neck as well, and a bound rosewood fingerboard. And then as far as the pickups go, we've got a pair of mini humbuckers. They're controlled with this three-way switch, and three knobs down here. We've got a volume for the neck pickup, volume for the bridge pickup, and a master tone control. And the bridge looks similar to a Telecaster. You've got four saddles that you can adjust both for intonation and for string height. The neck is maple, it's a set neck, and we've got a bound rosewood fingerboard. So today I'm playing through my Fender Deluxe, got that set on 4 or 5, and I'm just attenuating the volume slightly with a UA aux box just to keep the volume a bit more bearable in the room. And for that intro piece, a few effects as well. The tremolo and the spring reverb are coming from the amp. I've got a touch of compression from the Cali 76 compressor from Origin Effects, and I'm going to add a little bit of plate reverb in the mix as well. Now I just want to take you through the basic sounds of the guitar. I'm just going to switch between the different pickups, and for this I'm just going straight into the Deluxe. I've turned off the tremolo, no compression, just a little bit of spring reverb from the amp. as far as tunings go, you've got a lot of options, and there's actually a very useful tenor guitar tuning guide on the Eastwood website, which is a good way to get familiar with some of the possibilities. But most common is to tune in fifths, so much like a banjo or a violin, and often players will use C, G, D, A tuning, and the tuning that this guitar is in is actually G, D, A, E, which is the same tuning. It's still fifth, but it's sounding slightly lower. And then you've got various open tunings, so you could tune to a chord like G or D, or perhaps a more guitar friendly option would be to tune to the highest 4 strings or the lowest 4 strings of a guitar. So you could tune D, G, B, E, or E, A, D, G. So tons of options, and that's before you get into inventing your own more experimental kind of tunings. That's the MRG Tenor guitar, and if you want more information on this guitar, there's going to be a link underneath this video. And I've had a lot of fun exploring this guitar today, and I'm seriously thinking about adding a tenor guitar to my personal collection. I think it would be a really useful option to have, particularly in the studio and for songwriting purposes. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I'll see you next time.